No, Bob, no. Oh, I, I'm so sorry. I traded in my terrible luck for mediocre luck, and in the process, I've cursed you. You pulled it off, though. It nailed the ending. Oh, no. No. You're super duper cursed. What have I done? Duh. Oh, best viewers. Ah, oh, heck yeah. I already have the best viewers. Get out of here. Let's fix up this camera angle. Let's see it. Is it? I mean, it's pretty on point actually now that I look at it. I think we're fine. Cool. Ba-boom. Oh, oopsie. Quickly chuck us into a new file. That's probably fine. Sorry for blinding you. Give me a second. Ba-boom. There we go. Slightly off-white. Dust. Consistent as always. Quickly grab my water. It's a halfling one too. No. Because that's the thing, right? Is if it was a 1, that's re-rollable. A 2, though. Third 15, and I'd believe it. I believe you've been rolling incredibly decently for a while, for a very long while. Yeah, you don't even. Yeah, exactly. A halfling-proof curse. Okay, so the plan is for the next couple of hours to do a set of hair studies. We'll go with that. Study. A set of hair studies, and then after that, potentially start trying to animate the darn scene. On Sunday, you ran your game. One of the players was like, "Doing this again next week." It was a good sign. Hey, there you go. And are you? Nice. Curly hair portrait painting. You have to have like continuity instead of telling the same story over and over. Curses. I mean, if anything, it tests the capabilities of the system in that regard as well, right? How flexible it is for storytelling purposes. It's not a bad thing, not a bad thing at all. How are we doing, by the way? Sorry, I haven't been streaming thus far this week. Things have been busy, but we should be good for the rest of the week. Hope we're doing well. Hope you had a good weekend. Hope you've had a good week so far. I'm just frantically perusing Magic the Gathering artwork, actually. Magic the Gathering. Looking for hairstyles that are similar to the commission that I'm currently working on that I can do a bit of practice with. You're going to be eating pie with a friend today. Oh, nice. What kind of pie? Speaking of cooking, actually, I cooked up some fish, some noodles, and a bit of veg, and chucked it into a bowl. But turns out that I hadn't hadn't gone about cooking it in the most sensible of ways. I essentially turned it into a molten core of death. So I was very sadly sitting at the table for a good 15 minutes waiting for it to become edible. Taco pie? I'm confused. Is it pizza on a bagel? Sorry, I won't be distracted in a second. As soon as I can find a reference image that I can get started with, I'll be good. Okay, so we've got our puref file. Something. I'll take anything. So a longer than pixie cut but super messy hairstyle in a K-pop video that you watched once. Yeah, well, I've currently got like a mess of not frizzy hair, but like hair with a bit of curl through it that's brought into a little braid at the end. So think fully out, but then brought in just at the end. It's pie crust, some taco spiced mince. Not sure what else is going to be put in, but there's usually some nachos or tomato. I've never heard of that before. Pie crust, some taco spiced mincemeat, nachos, tomato cheese. Ah, okay. I understand now. So it's a pie that is filled with taco filling. We got there in the end. My brain. Nice. That actually sounds really yum. Na, 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 na. Hi Rad, how you going? How's your week been so far? We have hair. Excellent. Great success. Look at this. Kind of what I was describing, right? Where it's a messy volume of hair with a slight curl to it that gets brought in. It's not exactly the style, but close enough. Close enough to start. Methinks. Oh, I've got another one here. Excellent. Actually has the artist on the image as well. Thank you, Pinterest, for freaking once. The amount of times where you look for reference images on Pinterest, you click on the person who submitted an art piece, and it's just Bill. Bill, who has submitted artwork. Look at this picture that I found somewhere else on the internet. I've posted it here without any references. Jerks, a lot of them. Doing okay, just continuing your learning and applying for jobs at the end of the week, probably. Fair. What is being drawn today? Well, I'm currently working on a D&D portrait commission, and I've always struggled with hair, so I'm just going through and doing some hair studies, since, you know, I'm wanting to do studies during this period of time anyway. Oh, this hair, yes. Look at that, with the curl through it, but it's not like full on. I think that's fine to start, right? Let's go with that one. Curly hair, so yeah. I always struggle with it, because at least with flowy hair that has a bit of structure to it, you can kind of work in volumes. Whereas with frizzy hair, you're kind of just going general shape, and then you've got to do individual strands all over the place. It's a lot. But that's why I'm doing this, to try and simplify it for myself. Okay. Let's start with dark and then build up to light, I think is probably the best way of doing it. I've been struggling with cooking is on the brain because I just cooked earlier. I've been struggling with getting around to cooking, and it's been terrible because it means that I've been leaning on unhealthier options. But my freezer has become my lifeline because I've gotten a packet of many packets of fish. And it's they've been flash frozen. So it's not even like it's the oven stuff. I mean, I probably could chuck it in the oven if I really wanted to. But it's been so good because I've been able to thaw them overnight and then cook them. And there's no like substantial prep otherwise. It's like all the joys of cooking steak without... I mean, I suppose I could do the same thing with steak, right? This is a thing people do, is put steak in the fridge and then thaw it out and cook it later. Sorry, freezer. You know what I mean. Instead of just drawing the shape, let's place a head shape first, just so that we know why things are happening the way that they are. You actually have art to share? Ah, nice! I'm all eyes and ears. Yeah, no stress, no stress. Actually, speaking of which, I should announce what the prompt for this month will be during this stream. Let's do that. I've been pondering on it. I eventually came to the conclusion all the pondering in the world isn't going to do anything, and just go with my gut feeling. So I hope it fills people with inspiration. If not the end of the world. Let's just get rid of the mess of dark volume that I had before and actually do a decent job of putting in the head. There we go. That's starting to make more sense, isn't it? It's here. For context, you and your theatre group painted a big background and then filled it with Easter eggs and references and weird stuff because honestly, you had too much time. This one you did all by yourself. His name is Puppy and he's your mascot this year. Oh my goodness, yes. This is amazing. Look at this little guy. He's just so chill. I love that you've still got the wood grain behind it. I anticipate it's wood grain. It looks like wood grain. Very cool. Very, very, very cool. You painted all the clouds and you did about half the work for these as well. Oh my goodness. Ba-boom. The TARDIS. I've never seen the Doctor Who's, but I know what the TARDIS is. The Fellowship. Oh my goodness, yes. And it's It's the freaking ship from Treasure Planet. Yes. I recognize those sails in a heartbeat. Incredible. Incredible work. You're a guy after my own heart as well with all of the environmental stuff. The clouds, the foliage, the shrubberies. Beautiful. Canvas, actually. You did the horse all by yourself, which makes you very proud. It kind of looks like a horse. Absolutely looks like a horse. I'd recognized it immediately. Oh, guys, I did some art, I guess, on the weekend. Boom! Awesome artwork. Playing it far too coy. So good. So good. I shouldn't focus on the face too much. Just adding structure. We're placing shapes so that we know what the hair is in reference to. Yeah, no stress, Bebop. Sorry I couldn't stay for very long. I was doing a terrible job of cooking fish. Multitasking like my life depended on it. How you doing, bud? Send the whole back. Oh, yes, please. Oh my goodness, what? This looks amazing. That's so good. Is that Bob Ross? Ah, it's freaking Bob Ross. Painting happy little trees, probably. Oh, we've got... Up. Come back. We've got Puppy over there. We've got a Minecraft pumpkin. We've got... we've got... what's her face from The Sound of Music? Let me... Fraulein... Maria, that's right. What do you think's the problem with Maria? Alien abduction, I love. Is that a carton of milk? Horse? Little Aztec pyramid? It's the scarecrow from Howl's Moving Castle? Howl's Moving Castle, Great Wall of China. Oh my goodness, you didn't lie when you said that there are Easter eggs. Then the Fellowship's there, the ship's there, TARDIS is there. I can't make out some of these other details, but this is amazing. Incroyable. Beautiful. You should be rightfully proud. Sorry for forgetting to mute Spot. No, you're good. Just building a stone plant. Fair. For processing stone, presumably. It's always a super foreign concept to me. Like the efficiency factories in Minecraft. I've got two modes when it comes to Minecraft. Mode 1 is go out into the wild and look for things. And get jump scared. Mode 1 is to go out into the wild and look for things in the wild. And then mode 2 is full creative mode. There's no in between, none at all. So the concept of bringing wild things back to base and then turning it into a farm of sorts is just witchcraft. Had a lot of time between the completion of the background and the cutoff, so a lot of it's great. I miss that kind of thing from back in the day where we'd have these big collaborative things where you could just chuck in memes all over the place. We should do something like that actually at some point. We've got a bunch of arty-farties lying around here somewhere, all over the place. We do memes. Not a meta Minecraft farm, just building to house stonemason. Ah, okay. That's more my speed. That's actually totally something I would do, is go to a village and just start renovating their houses for them. You live here? No, Mr. Stonemason. This is beneath you. You deserve a palace of grand scale. I promise you grandeur and riches beyond your wildest imagination. What do you mean you're not interested? You don't get a choice. Bring in the wrecking crew. Need to remember that I'm not putting in much time on the face. Don't consider things too much. Just block in stuff so I can get started on the hair. I mean, I can't make it too uncanny valley, right? I gotta try at least a little bit. Sent a screenshot. It's 5 stories right now. Oh, heck yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong. It's super duper like industrial quarry style of building. It's very cool. Very, very cool. Ads in 1 minute. Thank you, Tavern. I appreciate. Why do I do this? Why do I do this to myself? I go low effort, just quick spritz of color to have some sort of stand-in, and then I sit here mulling over all the detail. I could stop right now. I don't have a problem. I could stop whenever I want. Looks a bit like Soviet brutalist architecture, but that's not the intention. I mean, to be fair, Minecraft lends itself to brutalism in the sense that brutalism is essentially just big concrete block, right? And Minecraft is inherently in blocks. So, I mean, it's not the end of the world. Hello, ads. Might take off 1 or 2 floors and then put up a sign with big built letters. Bear Rock Inc. Gonna be a cool build. Yeah. I didn't do too much lettering back in the day, but I'm sure with all of the different size materials and stuff, that it would be a lot more interesting nowadays. Because literally back in the day it was like you had full blocks and half blocks and that's it. Whereas now you'd have all sorts of different interesting block silhouettes and stuff. I always do this. I always make the face long. It's fine. It shouldn't matter. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Why do I go to fix it anyway? If I don't care, it's because I don't care. It's because I don't care so much that I quickly fixed it. Okay. There we go. There we go. A basic blocking in of the face. Then jump up to hair. Hair. What brush do I want to use? This one? There we go. Yeah, hit me with it. Let's start with our darkest. Okay, so we've got curls that come off the forehead, come around like this. I think this is like the classic curl shape to frame the face. It's one that I've seen over and over and over again. Now it's here where I'm not as familiar. I always make the mistake of having the hair be too flat. I identify where the top of the head is and I go, okay, and then I put hair on top. And by hair, I mean I'm placing a single layer of material, paper thin, just on top of the head. Just, there we go. Hair. That's hair for you right there. Whereas that's never the case. It's never just a single layer of material. It's always, hair has a bit of volume to it, right? I mean, volume is part of the vernacular that you use when describing hair. In 2005, King Richard III's body was found under a parking lot because his body had been missing for over 200 years. Yes, yep. It's because they had misunderstood a town layout map that they had used as a point of reference for where to find the body. They had assumed, based on the description, that it had ended up under a bridge on one side of the town, but it's actually because the map had incorrectly illustrated where a section of buildings was. So once they went through and corrected the mistake, they went and looked in the new potential spot. As you said, they eventually received permission to start archaeologizing underneath the car park, exhuming, I think, whatever, digging under the parking lot, and they eventually found his body. Yeah, apparently it was one lady who was incredibly, like one scientist who was one archaeologist who was just incredibly adamant that the body was out there and that they could still find it, because a lot of people had just given up at that point because they had looked in the first area, didn't find it, and just assumed that the elements had taken it, you know? It had gone to the sea or something. I don't know what rivers do. But yeah, I found out about that just the other day. Thank you, YouTube. It's always fun. I don't necessarily find the actual discovery itself too exhilarating, but finding out about the story of how it came to be discovered is far more interesting to me. The thing that I struggle with is the shape of the hair seems kinda arbitrary. I understand that there are things at play, right? Because her shoulders are there, which means that when the hair interacts with the shoulders, it like puffs it up. But in terms of all of this business, like the silhouette, I don't know, it just feels as though hair just be doing what it do. Which is fine, I just need to understand what it could do to then understand what my options are. There's a video about something like this going viral. Suddenly your friend came with a fun fact. You can just point to, you saw this video, didn't you? Yeah. The one that's been doing the rounds. Yep. The only thing you know about King Richard III is that he and Claudius from Hamlet were merged to create Scar from the Lion King. Claudius for the brother murder, Richard for being a miserable, sickly butthead. Yeah, all I really know is that King Richard III was the last king... the last king in reign during the War of the Roses, which was a big lineage dispute between a couple of branches of the royal family. Hello, Corrupted Shield. Hi, Billy. How you going, bud? Don't mind me. I'm a bit loopy on sleep deprivation and molten fish. Long story short, I cooked fish. It was the right temperature, and then I plopped it into some noodles, and then the noodles turned it molten. And I burnt my mouth, and it was a terrible time. But it was really tasty, so... winning at the end of the day. You need a detox? The kids are being a lot? Yeah, fair. Lack of sleep, some prime for the director. Yeah, exactly. I'll be the person in the front row hooting and hollering. I don't know why I'm here, but I'm excited. Luck low right now. I got it. Excuse me. 10 for me is kind of like a 20. My luck is incredibly good right now, relatively speaking. Yeah, super high. I'm overperforming. Whoa. That wasn't permission to go and roll a 20. No, it's okay. I see how it is. That's fine. I'm not jealous or anything. Just quickly. N64 Billy. Okay, just put that away. There we go. Fourth 15 in a row is criminal. Dust. When will you learn that your actions have consequences? Apparently they don't, actually, though, to be fair on you. You can roll 15s until the end of time, and apparently no backwards karmic swing. Yeah, that's true. Four 15s in D&D basically means success 4 times. Which is not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, I need to place the side part more onto the side of the head. There we go. That looks better. Then again, we've got this business of it starts in, it comes out, and then it comes back in again. Curls do be doing curl stuff, I guess. Yeah, I mean, technically, but even my hair doesn't do too crazy of stuff. I can't account for it. Again, just more stand-in stuff. It's neither here nor there. Yeah, something like that. Oh, no, I did have short hair for a little bit at uni. When was the last time I had short hair? I want to say like 8 years ago. was when I realized that there was nothing actually making me have a haircut. Like, oh, I could just not. That's cool. Let's try that for a bit. See how I feel about it. And I've been on a trial run ever since. This is what I struggle with. It's this. It's the volume. It's the big. I always try to cull it, but I'm looking at my reference and I'm going, no, that's not how the hair. It's not how the hair work. The hair will not be contained. You settled for having both long and short hair at the same time. Tried just long, tried short. You like half and half. I mean, hey, that's why we try things, right? ¿Por qué no las dos? Ascension 4 went really well today. If you manage to complete 5, then you'll finally be on par with the mobile save file from Silent. Ooh, for Silent? Yeah. Only this time, you wear your artifact on your character and everything has googly I see you're making taking full advantage of the opportunities that PC grant you. Are you having fun? Are you enjoying yourself? Got to try a new deck style. Oh, what kind? That's the thing that keeps me invested in Slay the Spire, is just the multitude of different deck types that you can try. And usually I have a problem with the fact that you can't choose from the outset what you want to try. Like in Hades, for example, you can go, okay, I want to do this weapon type and I want to try to focus on this god's blessings. You can do that. You can set it up so that you have a particular build focus. Whereas in Slay the Spire, you don't get that at all. And usually that'd be a problem for me, but I don't know. I don't know what it is about the game. But I kind of enjoy the fact that it's very much so a just go with whatever opportunities are presented to you kind of format. Bullet time to cut costs, bunch of 2 to 3 cost damage cards, and ice cream to save up like 11 energy some turns. Lots of lots of artifact healing along the way. Yeah. Okay. So very much so like a snowbally kind of deck. Bullet time was making everything cost 0, so energy was a nil issue. It wasn't online by turn 1. You were turn 2. I mean, hey, that's the benefit of a deck with heavy card draw, right? That's why the bottled cards, the bottled relics are so good. Being able to, for example, with bullet time, you'd be able to bottle bullet time. Bullet time is a skill, I think, so it would be bottled tornado, I think. Yeah, being able to have that consistently on turn 1 is just bonkers. It means that you're not at the whim of draw order. Okay, so it's looking like it's a lot of setting up the general big buffy shapes and then going through and adding flow to it. Then once the flow has been added, adding texture as like a tertiary thing, which is not what I would have expected. I don't know what I was expecting. Hair always has me at a loss. Who am I painting today? A random image that I found on Pinterest by this artist here. I'm using as a reference to paint curly hair because a commission that I'm working on at the moment has a character with curly hair, and it's doing my head in. To be fair, I haven't actually started on the character's hair yet, so who knows? Maybe it'll be the easiest thing ever. No, that's not true. It's going to be a pain in the neck, I can see from now. So I'm getting ahead of the curb. That's not the saying, right? Getting ahead of the crowd, getting ahead of the blah. Getting ahead of the problem. Yes, that one. There we go. We ended up in the right spot eventually. But yeah, this is just a study. So, yes, the face is all uncanny valley. It's fine. If I spent any more time on it, I'd be wasting that time because the study is not for the face. The study is for the hair. Just out of curiosity, when working on commission with characters, do I usually get a ref sheet of some sort? Do I ever work off just descriptions? I do ask them for any reference images that they might have of the kind of character that they like, that they would like the look of, or any particular, like if they've got any actors in mind, or characters from shows, or if they've got anything like from like a Pinterest board or anything like that that kind of summarizes the stuff that they want. And I'm in active communication the entire way through. So I'll do up a first draft and be like, hey, do you like this facial structure, or would you prefer that I accentuate the nose, or you mentioned that you wanted lips in this kind of way, but from this angle, maybe it doesn't work as well. Would you perhaps mind if I did this instead? And I'll have it as part of the secondary draft. And they say yes or no, and then go from there. So yeah, long story short, yes, I'll generally ask for them to bring reference images. It just makes it easier because then they've got a better understanding of what I understand their want to be. And then it just gives them something to start with to be able to go, I like this part of this character, but I want this element from this other picture. Can you do that? Like, yep. It tends to be the case that people struggle with describing what they want, which, I mean, understandable. You know, people sometimes have to, you know, get an education in art stuff to actually get a handle on certain terminology and understand what's actually important in an image and that sort of thing. So being able to point to pictures is a lot more intuitive for people. I like that. I don't like that. I don't know why I don't like that character, but I don't want that vibe, please. Oh, BT dubs. I finished the kaiju image over the weekend. It's on the Discord, but this is what I've ended up with. Ba-boom! Was it... Who was it? Somebody recommended Hollow Knight as an aesthetic. And I can't remember who it was off the top of my head. But that was an absolute godsend, because Hollow Knight does sort of stenciled silhouette backgrounds like nobody else. It's not entirely true. Ori and the Blind Forest does a similar vibe quite well, but used a lot of Hollow Knight imagery. Yeah, I think so, but I can't remember for certain. I can't say with certainty I remember the exact message. But yeah, it was lots of fun. I thoroughly enjoyed putting it all together. I need to do more sort of casual images like that, because it was really enjoyable to not have to put my blood, sweat and tears into it for once. It's a notion I keep returning to. It was really fun when I didn't have to sacrifice like a goat to get this done. And then I always return to goat sacrifice every time. Goat sacrifice is just so addictive, you know? It's all well and good to do things with low stakes and casually and for enjoyment. But what? Freaking lame. What's the point in that? I need apocalyptic stakes for everything that I do. It is an at minimum requirement. It's kind of what you felt during the weekend's painting, just getting to slap small details that pretty much only you will see anyways was freeing in a way. Got past your perfectionism. Yeah, it's freeing, right? Because you could just play. The thing that always does in my head is a sense of continuity across the hair, where you're kind of illustrating how one strand gets from one end to the other. And I think I'm overcomplicating it in my head, where it's not necessarily about telling the story of every single strand or even the majority. It's about getting the vibe across. Like, oh, at a glance, you can kind of tell where all the hair is. But if you actually go through and have a look, it's only a few locks of hair where you can actually see the whole journey. Per exemple, I think it's this lock here. Like this main forehead lock. Where you can actually see it travel all the way down. And then it kind of translates to the rest of them. In theory. Same thing with this side. Kind of get to follow the journey of one or two locks or strands, and then the rest of it is kind of just implied. I'm also noticing that it's quite important to show individual hairs every now and again as well. To again do that thing. It's the same principle of implication, right? Where one, it's the implication of, well, the rest of the hair kind of moves like that, like the hair that we're following individual strands, but then when you get to, you know, the back of the hair, you're not seeing individual strands, but you're making the assumption based on what you've seen. It looks like it's the same case with the individual, like, flyaways, where the individual flyaways tell the person who's having a look at the hair that, look, individual strands of hair are present. You're not going to see them when you're looking at the body of the hair, but look, they are there. This is what the hair looks like in isolation. It looks like with curly hair specifically, you also have hairs that don't conform to the rest of the curl shape, which is also interesting. No, wrong part of the hair. Interesting. So we do that a little bit in the middle of the hair as well, just to kind of inform the viewer that there are individual strands amongst the volume as well. Interesting. Speaking of, we spoke about, probably a better way of framing it. We spoke about last time the video essays that exist on YouTube about movies. I've become addicted to, for this past week, horror movie breakdowns. They're so fascinating because a lot of the time horror movies are inherently just a thrill roller coaster in most cases. You don't really stop to assess why things are being set up the way that they are. In the sense that you might feel on edge, but there's a sense of like, I feel uncomfortable, but I don't know why I'm feeling uncomfortable right now. So actually going back through after the case, after the fact, and analyzing like, okay, so this disturbing element existed here, and that, you know, this did blah, 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 blah. Like, for example, I couldn't remember The Conjuring for the life of me, because I remember going and watching it and enjoying it as part of like a big group of people, and we were memeing on it the entire way through, because I mean it's kind of what horror movies tend to become. But actually going back through with the detective lens has been really fun. But you enjoy the psychology of them, so you've been down that rabbit hole too. Yeah, just going through and being like, okay, so this was in reference to this real life thing that happened, or this is why this thing happened in the story that you didn't pick up on at the time, just because it was, you know, a jump scare fiesta at the, you know, at that point in the movie. It's, I don't know, it's it's a second shockwave of enjoyment. Okay, the face is starting to bug me. Why do I do this to myself? I'm wasting time. You know what? You know what? You know what? It's my stream. It's my learning process. I can do what I want. And what I really want to do right now is fix the face. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to fix the face at least until I'm a little bit satisfied with it. As soon as I hit that benchmark, we're moving on. Getting the bell for the curse and relics was the best choice, specifically because now you're wearing it like a helm on your head. What do you think of the efficiency of the relics that you've just procured for yourself? I mean, they're pretty good, I guess, but like, check this out. No, that's fair. I need to break out of the habit of only going for the bell when I've got the relic that allows you to take 2 curses and dispels them. It's satisfying when I do get it, but that can't be like the be-all end-all reason why I do pick up the bell. So I've started taking it just when I've got a deck that's a little bit thicker. The problem is if you get it with a thin deck, you're more likely to draw into it more often. Whereas if you've got an inherently thicker deck, it's probably fine to pick it up. Plus, the power spike that you get off of it is worth it. It's not something I take by default though, just because the curse card is just so rough, especially on Ascension 20, where you start the game with the curse card already in your deck. The prospect of drawing a hand with 2 curse cards in it is just yuck. Okay, you know what will help to clean up the face a bit? Let's add a bit of blush into the midsection of the face. Just because that's where your blood is, generally speaking. Then add a little bit more yellow into the forehead and a bit of grey into the jawline, and that should pick up the face in a way that I'll be satisfied with. Going for a full Shiv build, hoping for 0 cost buff. Whoa. Yep. Don't bank it all on the 0 cost buff. It's still incredibly viable even without it. Okay, that is looking substantially better. We're straying from the accuracy of the original image, but that's fine. As long as I scratch the itch that was itching at the back of my head this whole time. Okay, back to the hair. The thing that actually is being studied. the playthrough that I'm doing of the game V Rising with a couple of friends of mine is going incredibly well. We're almost finished the game at this point, which is pretty good, probably. It's probably pretty good. We're playing through on the most difficult setting. So however many weeks it's been, I think we've had a pretty decent track record in terms of speed. But the problem that I keep running into is the game has one objective that you deem to be the true like end game of the game, right? Is like, okay, I need to get stronger as a vampire and I can take on more difficult vampire bosses, right? Whether they happen to be vampire hunters or clerics or werewolves, golems, whatever it happens to be, giant spiders, whatever the opponent happens to be. But that's not true. It's not the actual end game of V Rising. The actual end game of V Rising is decking out your gothic cathedral vampire castle thing that you build up from the ground. And the dilemma that I'm facing is that we keep getting cool stuff like music boxes and lounges and decorative tables and chandeliers and all these amazing things that I want to add to the decor of the castle. But then these things are also using like the most sought after materials that we have in our possession. Like, for example, making lounge chairs requires gold bars, which is, to get gold bars, you need to like fight some of the most annoying enemies in the game up until that point in like the highest level area. And not only is it difficult to get, you also get really small portions of it, and it's also used for really important other stuff. So the true end game of decorating the castle is getting me to my wit's end. I want to decorate it all nice and stuff, but I can't. Curse you, video game. I reckon if it was just me playing, I would never get anywhere because I would always use all of my heavily sought after materials on just making a jacuzzi or whatever, and then I would have none left to, actually gear up my vampire. You missed the kaiju prompt by 2 days, but you've drawn something anyway just now, and you had fun. Hey, there you go. There's no actual time limit on it. If you read the kaiju prompt in July or something, and you went, "Oh my goodness, I can't believe I missed out on a kaiju prompt," and you wanted to go back and do it, by all means. There's no actual time limit on it. You have not broken any rules, I promise. What kind of kaiju did you end up going with? Because something that I was pleasantly surprised by whilst doing mine is that there's an endless variety, honestly. You always think of a Godzilla's, but it's not just a Godzilla's. Which power to buff in Venom, After Image, or Infinite Blades? Infinite Blades is super niche. Envenom is also super niche. After Image is generally good. It depends. If you're hitting, if you've got tons of Fan of Knives and you're hitting enemies for like a million ticks of hits, Envenom could absolutely be worth it. But at the same time, After Image is also good for the same reason. I think After Image is the safest choice that you've got there. A body horror one? To not use references so much, and you tried to do it from your head. You can use references all you like. There are no rules. I mean, apart from if you're directly using references. You can use references as ways of informing yourself as to how things work. Like, for example, if you're doing a body horror monster, then looking up anatomy as a reference is completely fine. You're fine to use references. Not to contradict Woad, but use references. They're good. They're great. Great for the brain. Which power to bottle? After Image, I believe when it gets upgraded, is inherently bottled in the sense that you start with it. So I wouldn't do that one. In Venom, maybe? Oh, this kaiju's amazing.
Hi. Hello. I've come to eat everybody.
It's so good.
Hello. Anybody home? Anybody home so I can eat?
Beautiful. Glorious. Yeah, like, if you wanted to use references to see what eyes looked like, get me wrong, this looks amazing and I wouldn't change it for the world. But if you wanted to use references for any of these body parts, do it. Absolutely do it. It only becomes unethical if you're ripping images directly or too closely. If you're just using... Because there's a difference between a reference and something that you're copying. Ooh. Jess, you just arrived and is about to roll a what? You lied to me. You lied to me, Squid. That's the furthest from a 1 you could possibly get. I'm thoroughly disappointed now. Hey, going Squid. How's your day been? Na, 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 da, 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 na, na. Okay, we're not finished with the hair just yet because it looks like as it gets closer to the viewer and also in stronger light, it gets more and more vibrant. Still slowly working on the piece for last month, but it's coming along. Nice, nice, nice. Remember, there's no rush. So if it takes you, like, for another art community that I'm part of. I literally just finished the December prompt, so like, there's no stress. If you want to take your time with it, take your time with it. The hair looks amazing, kind of like the Pixar Brave Princess or Chappelle Rock. Yeah, I can kind of see it. Speaking of references, I'm working off this reference at the moment. Because, can I show? I'll quickly, just for a split second, I won't have it up on the screen for long, show the commission that I'm currently working on. So I'm currently working on this commission, and I need to do frizzy hair for it, a la a Brave from Brave, Pixar Brave. So I'm currently going through and I'm doing hair studies like this to try and get the hair right. Looks so cool. Thank you. I'm quite happy with how it's coming along. It's going well. The extremely rare commission true. I don't like it just because I haven't like checked with the client that they're fine with me working on it on stream. They've made it clear that they're incredibly lackadaisical about it, so that's why I don't mind too much with this one, but generally speaking I won't do it. Sometimes I really hate the monitor because it doesn't show the colors in the same way, but at the same time it kind of gives me a good understanding of what worse monitors would show, which isn't terrible information. Telling clients if I'm allowed to show the commission on stream, it likely means it'll get done faster. It's an incentive. Yeah. Problem doesn't lie in the incentives though. Problems usually lie in like generally it'll be texture. It'll be texture bottlenecks that I end up in, where it's like I have no idea how I want to do hair. It's always hair. Hair is always the bottleneck for portraits. Optional, of course. Yeah, I don't know. I'm happy to keep it as it currently is, where I keep all of my commission work off stream, just because I don't know why. On stream it just kind of ups the pressure, I guess. At least if it's off stream I can kind of keep it in my head. Because with commission work, if I'm struggling, I have the option of reaching out to ask people for opinions. Whereas if it's on stream, whether I want opinions or not, they will come. Which it's not a bad thing. It's just I don't know. It feels weird when it's paid for work. Turned out so good. You're sad you don't. the classic, I'm really enjoying this bowl of ice cream, but there's only one spoonful left. What food? What food did you make? Okay. As much as I've been relying on the reference, there are distinct differences between the reference and the piece and the image that I've ended up with. Specifically, head size. So based on the head size that I've ended up with, I'm going to make some alterations to my image to kind of practice the lesson. Okay, so with the head out the back like that, so it means that the bot? What happened? Made chicken and salad with honey mustard. Oh, yum. Made it every now and then because quick and yummy, but today just hit different. Yep. Oh, Das Boot. Yeah. The boot is such a good tech relic when working with shivs, because it means that if anything hits you with a cripple or whatever it is, where you're dealing less damage, it makes you immune. Weaken. Yep. I'm thinking of there's a game called Cross the Obelisk, where the effect is essentially the same thing. I mean, it's not exactly in that game. When you're hit with weaken, quote unquote, it means that you can't use physical attacks. So it is distinctly different, but it's what I think of every time. It's got a really similar game icon. Okay. The repetition of these three shapes across the back of the head make me feel yuck, because organic shaping means that you're generally not seeing too much repetition. Let me combine a couple of them. There we go. I mean, it's still not perfect, but it's getting there. Things to emphasize. How large the hair is. Something that I always underestimate. Okay, I think the text is all good. I think the actual application of what I've done is good. I think I've ticked the box in terms of asking the how and why and then finding answers. I could just sit here perfecting, but I think that would be a bit of a waste. Would it be a waste? Would it be a waste to refine? Kind of. Because I don't think I need help with the refinement process. I might do, actually. We'll see. I'll give it a little bit more time. I worry about overly investing in perfecting it, but at the same time, when thinking about how I would refine it to like a fully rendered state, I do have a couple more internal questions, so I'll go for a little bit longer on it. Just to clarify something from earlier. I don't fully disagree with Wode's prescription of avoid overly relying on references, specifically for one thing and one thing only. And that's if you're trying to come up with like incredibly unique imagery, it can be good to shy away from references, with the caveat of use references when doing studies, because as part of constructing your own voice, you need to understand based on what you want to produce, how to achieve the imagery that you're intending for. And the only way that you will get a better understanding of it is if you do studies. Not in isolation, still like produce pieces, but as part of doing that studying process, either using real life as a reference or other artists as a reference, or whatever it happens to be, like movies, TV shows, whatever imagery that you want to use. It's a way of adding depth to your style. But then when you're actually producing pieces, if you want to avoid using references for the actual production of the thing, that can be fine. But I'm hesitant to fully agree with throwing out references as a whole, because demonizing references can be really destructive to progressing like your skill. I had a problem with that to begin with, where I refused to use any references because I was afraid of losing originality. I had this like purist mentality of if I'm using other imagery as reference, then it's not my voice anymore. All of a sudden it becomes somebody else's work that I'm just copying. In this particular case I am, because I'm studying, but it's not the case. The only way that you learn is by absorbing and then processing and then regurgitating your own imagery afterwards. Like it's a transformative process. If you shut off everything, first of all, nobody goes without references, right? Because what you end up with is inspired by how you live your life, and you're absorbing everything around you as you live. It means that what you're using as reference is kind of a blurry version of the image, which, I mean, hey, if it's your method, I'm not going to tell you no. But I'm just super hesitant to say don't use references, because it can lead to a puritanical approach, which is what I struggled with. You're studying. Yeah, like, yes. But even if you're working on a final image, if I had this image up next to me as I'm working on my commission to kind of see how curly hair behaves, that's completely fine as well. The problem would be if I'm doing a commission and this is my commission, then it would be a problem, because then I'm just stealing somebody else's artwork without making reference to them. That's when it's problematic. This is borderline rant territory. No, I can't bring up the rant screen. I'd be set off. I'd be gone for days. And I'm very close to finishing this image. I prefer not to. We'll see. It might, a second wave of it might hit me in an hour or something, and then off I go. Make sure you download the Dreams of Aether on Steam, free today. A quick little WarioWare game. I appreciate the recommendation, but I've never been one for WarioWare style games. I appreciate though. I don't mind it too much if it's a Mario Party style format where you're sort of competing in a party game style of gameplay. But if it's just by myself, not so much. I'm good. I don't know why, but I've never really been one to own things, you know? No. I'm good. You're too obsessed with Guilty Gear right now. Fair. Who's your character at the moment? Are you still playing is it Bridget? Hey, there you go. The one non-party pooper. Started playing Dizzy. Learned her for a bit, then found out that Sin Kiska has invincibility frames on his down slam ability, I think. Yeah, okay. Really? And it's that one factor cottoned you onto playing that this new character. Interesting. You want a game on 1 HP because of the invincibility. Fair. You a combo fiend? Are you the type of player who enjoys just sitting in the training range, just in the training room, just practicing a combo over and over and over again until you got it down? Your opponent was about to ult you, but you hit the ability just before they did, maybe 5 frames before, and you done. Incredible. Sounds similar to a parry, actually. Sit in the training range to learn the character, then you go into a bot match and you just try and learn everything together into one thing. Your brain hurts when you try to learn combos. Right. So not so much a combo player. No, that's fair. That was my jam. Specifically the character Jamie in Street Fighter 6. Thoroughly enjoyed his combo lines. Very, very, very fun. He had a few wreckers, which is like 1, 2, 3 inputs where it strings together itself, if that makes sense. Like a 1-button combo type of thing. So you combo into the wrecker and then you do like 1, 2, 3 and then you combo out of it. It's very, very, very cool. Very very flowy. Very satisfying to play. The thing that I always struggled with in Street Fighter 6 though is that the patches for it were just so infrequent. I'm pretty sure the same 2 or 3 characters were meta for a year and a half, which is just brutal. Don't get me wrong, like that doesn't affect me in the sense that I wasn't playing nearly close enough to the tier of play where this actually makes a difference. But how it does affect me is if a character is not very good, not many people play it, and therefore I can't learn from good players. That's the thing that I struggled with. And Jamie suffered from this for a very, 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 very long time, to the point where I gave up, where there were so few people playing the character because he was so bad for so long that there was just nobody that I could learn from. Apparently, Sin has really good mix-ups. You'll send a picture of one of the Sin's best specials in the Discord. It's hilarious how descriptive it. Yeah, sure. Sin takes out food and eats it. Something good happens after he eats. Excellent. You are, yeah. That describes the thing. Game you've seen on Twitter a few times is out now. Downloading the demo. Haste. It's a run fast. Ooh. There was a game like that. Where you jump on trucks. I can't remember what it's called. Jumping on trucks game. Cluster truck. That's right. The entire concept is that you there's like a line of trucks that start like piling up and crashing and that sort of thing, and you've got to sprint along them, and you've got the ability to speed up time and also grapple onto things, and you've got to make it to the, you can't see that, but it says goal on that banner there, and you've got to make it through the goal line before the trucks completely impede your path. Very, very, very fun game. Yeah, I'd be down for Haste, you say. Haste game. Haste Broken Worlds, is that the one? Ooh. It's got a very similar vibe to Cluster Truck, actually. Just based on the screenshots that I'm seeing. Is a high-speed third... okay, so it's third person instead of first person, though. High-speed third-person running game. Set in a collapsing universe. Race through a variety of worlds, master your movement, and use items and abilities to progress through each level before it all falls apart. It's sounding very similar to Cluster Trucks, actually. This game consists of 10 shards, each featuring a collection of procedurally generated levels that must be completed without fail to unlock the next. You'll encounter challenges and characters on your journey, seeking answers about what lies behind the destruction and how to escape it. Fun. The devs messing with streamers playing Cluster Truck was so much fun to watch. I didn't know. they were. That's excellent. The demo's so good. You can only play the first world, but it's randomized, so it's all right. It's the same people. Excellent. I was gonna say it's funny that that's the first thing that I thought of, though. Is that game. Completely unprompted. Running game. I could have thought of Mirror's Edge, or Mirror's Edge 2, or Mirror's Edge 2 again. Don't remember exactly how they did it. They could connect to somebody's game. Usually the first thing they did was ask favorite color and then change the truck color. That's amazing. Just imagining it now. Just, what? Oh. The last half hour of every stream is consists of exorcising the demons that are now inside your PC. You're watching a video of someone trying to do a no-hit run, basically a no-damage run. Sounds easy, but you tried it and it really isn't. I mean, that's the name of the game, though, isn't it? Is don't get hit. But I suppose you mean like 100% don't get hit, right? Even for a tiny chip damage. Those tend to be fun, especially in games where we do have a lot of movement options. Like it's the game that always comes back to mind is Mario Odyssey. A no-hit run in Mario Odyssey would be really, really fun. But it just got more and more personal and more and more chaotic. That's hilarious. Why is my name on the truck? And then beat the boss. Yeah. Oh, okay. So when you get to the end, the running segment stops, and then it becomes a boss battle, or the boss battle is part of the running segment. It's a roguelike, you think, as people described it as well. Because at certain points you can buy items. Or you can gain a 5% speed boost or something. Right, and then it permanently applies to the rest of the runs. Yeah. I don't think anybody really does true roguelikes anymore. Because there was a difference back in the day between... So you had rogue lights and you had rogue likes. So in the game Rogue, every time you die, it would send you all the way back to the start with nothing, like absolutely nothing. It wouldn't keep any of your progress. And games that emulated this format were Rogue likes. So it's like Rogue in the sense that you get sent back with none of your progress with you. Rogue lights changed the format by making it so that you die, you get sent back to the start and you reset, but you keep a little bit of progress. So it's not exactly the same. It's a bit more forgiving. So that's why it's light as opposed to like. I feel like that distinction doesn't exist nowadays anymore because these games don't exist anymore. The only ones that I can think of that are true roguelikes are like those, what are they called? The anger games, what are they called? They tend to be streamer games like Jump King, the one where you're in a cauldron and you to the top or whatever it's called, where you've got the sledgehammer in the cauldron and you have to like swing it around to climb up all the way to the top of the map. Games like that where if you fail, you fall all the way to the start and you keep none of your progress. Those are the only games that I can think of that actually commit to the full reset. Because like games like Hades, Hollow Knight, anything like that. Hollow Knight not so much, but Hades, Slay the Spire, anything like that. You keep achievements, you keep cards that you unlocked, you keep items that you unlocked, blah, 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 blah. Rage get there we go. Thank you, thank you. Okay, what am I missing here? It feels as though with the hair that I've done, it feels more flat. It's not as bouncy. And the main factor at play that's messing with that is the fact that the curls that are sitting up, like up and out like this, are falling lower. Like they're starting high and then falling. If you can see that, they're on a diagonal. Whereas in the image, they're remaining relatively flat. Horizontal. They're keeping their bounciness. So I'm going to try and emulate that effect here for a second. And then I'm realizing as I speak that I've ticked over the 2-hour mark. So I'm going to shift over to the landscape in a second. Okay. They are not made equal. Why does this one look better than that one? Is it volume? It's volume. It's volume again. See how the hair goes out further to the left, whereas mine just falls? Why am I so afraid of hair? Ah! That's so stupid. As soon as I just grabbed the hair and dragged it out, it immediately looks better. With this one word, I will terrify you, Mahali. What is it? Volume. As in, like, sound volume? No. Hair volume. Aye. Shock horror. No, Dust, no. Even alluding to it sent shivers down my spine. Please, no, I can't stand it. Let's quickly save this. On my computer. Drawings. Studies. Stream studies. I guess it counts as material. Yeah, there we go. Hair 2. Hair 2. Cool. Then let's save this reference file as well. References for studies. Hair references. 2. Boom. All right. To the monster. Here it is. Okay. Before I get stuck into it, I'm going to quickly grab some water because I've run out of water completely and I need to hydrate. But then when I'm back, we'll be looking to start animating this darn thing. Is the plan? Yeah. There'll be a little bit of planning that we need to do ahead of time. Like we'll break down, we want this to do this, this to do this, this to do this, this to do this. And then once I've done all of that, we'll get stuck into it. Okay, I'll be back in a little bit, grabbing water. It should be a minute at most, BRB. Forgot to unmute myself. Excellent. Okay. So, what are we doing? We are doing an art. How would we like to do the art? We want to have moving elements. Bahali Dubscare, the finest kind. Now, what moving elements do we have? We have these clouds, which we're wanting to have move from the left up to the top right, and then loop. We also want moving grass elements. I was anticipating that I'd only have the grass in the 4-4 foreground move, but now having a look at things, I maybe want this sort of a little bit closer grass to move as well. Just because, I don't know, it feels right. And then apart from that, I just want the earthworm going. I'll start with the loop. Like the looping elements, both the grass moving and the clouds moving. And then I can introduce the earthworm after that. But before I do that, I need to isolate my layers. So this is thankfully on its own layer here. Oh, that one. That bit of grass isn't. Okay. Let's grab this grass, cut, paste. I should have... okay, so it's over there. To the right of the hole. Oop. There we go. So now that's on its own layer. Foremost grass animated. Then I want these blades of grass isolated as well. I would have done them on their own layer if I had known that I wanted it at the time. But because I've retrospectively decided that I want this grass to move and shift, I have to do so after the fact. I have to go through and adjust the layer after the fact. Second, foremost, grass animated. Then this one as well. Ba-boom. Why am I going through and rotoscoping? Because I'm silly. Yes. Thankfully, I had the foresight to do it with these blades of grass before, and I've got the clouds on their own layers as well, which is nice. It's just, as I said, because I hadn't considered that I wanted more grass to move apart from the foreground grass. I've have to go through after the fact and grab them. Okay, let's see. Third, foremost grass animated. Excellent. Okay, but what I'm going to do is, well, I'll duplicate this layer. Then on the duplicate, let's grab these other cloud elements and chuck them onto their own sublayers. Demo complete. Fun to play. You can really see how the full game would feel rewarding. I did see for a brief second that the game is on special at the moment. So if you wanted to. Moving cloud second animated. Moving cloud first animated. It's getting wish listed. Keep an eye on it in future. You freed up a little. Right now you have too many things, like Slay the Spy, for example. Haven't even completed the story for Act 1 of this season's story in Destiny. Got another, just got to Act 3 today. Oh, yeah, okay, fair. Based. Moving cloud third. Animated. So the Spy has been fun. It's been an incredibly enjoyable, consistently enjoyable game for me. It's always one that I can. It's a fantastic game to turn on if I just want to have my brain off. Funnily enough. Even though it is one that you kind of have to think about. It's because I'm just so familiar with how it works now that I'm happy to just int run after run after run. You want to redo your stream layout? You just like to set it up nicely so that if you're playing anything solo, it can look nice in the background. As in just like a generalized gameplay layout. You need to do some trial and error. For what in particular? Is it for the kaiju? I'm thinking for the image. Let's see. Are my fears rooted in reality? I think they are. If I were to follow, yeah. So if I follow that trajectory down, the cloud actually intercepts these other clouds here, which isn't necessarily a problem. I can just bump it up so that it's above them. But I'd prefer that to not be the case. Instead, I prefer that it come from here and it come up. It's not the worst. Something like that. I mean, heck, having the cloud a little bit higher. Does it work? Obviously, it's like popping and locking a little bit as it's wanting to latch onto other points of reference, but like how I used to zone out and play Zelda Dungeon game and just didn't have mic. Yeah, some like that. Where if I'm wanting to just pass some time, having the Stream Deck app, you can see you can set up to control a lot of stream with just your phone to the side. Plus, Natty just finished his new chat overlay and it looks exactly like how you want. Either put $10 to get it early or get it when it fully releases next month. Yeah, fair. As in $10 to get the haste game early or the chat overlay format? In the Anime Tower Defense game, they do these boss event things every week, and the one that's currently in is Saber Alter from Fate. Trying to get her, but it's a 0.75% chance to get her. You have to place down your sabers, which you can place 3 of, so that goes about 2% chance. 2% chance is not very high. For cloud movement, I think a little less diagonal. Yeah, if I were to do that though, I'd need to rotate them just because I've got the cloud trail, which implies direction. So I need to rotate like that in order to have it travel more horizontally. Which is fine. It's just I was seeing if I could do it the other way. I don't disagree. Need to see if you can solo, so you can just grind the hell out of it. Is it infinite pulls as long as you keep playing? Not only direction, also wind. What do you mean? Oh, as in. Well, yeah. It really isn't that high. People could do 200 plus runs of this event and not pull it. Yeah. Yep. Because don't forget, yes, 2% means that it's, 2 out of 100. But that doesn't mean if you do 100 runs, you'll get it twice. That's not how 2% works. Probability is a little bit more messed up than that. Okay. You know what? I could have this cloud, the teeny tiny one, behind the big one and moving at a slower pace so that the large cloud can move in front and it gives more of a sense of dimension. Let's do that. think if I were to do that, I'll be tweening, right? Time to figure out how to tween in Photoshop. I'll probably also try to tween the size as well, so that as it's moving from left to right, it's growing by a modicum. Teeny tiny bit. You would recommend I animate this in Photoshop? But I want to. And also, there are things that I can only exclusively do in Photoshop. Here's the thing. If I'm animating it in DaVinci, I wouldn't be doing it on stream, just because I'm not familiar with the software at all. So it would be a lot of me just watching tutorials, which is fine. It just means that I'm not. I'd be chucking this out for what I'd be doing on stream tonight. And two, there are some things that I do have to exclusively do through animating in Photoshop, like any sort of painterly animation. I'd be doing through Photoshop. Yes, I can do it as a hybrid. Like I could animate the worm in Photoshop, and I could do all of this tweening stuff in DaVinci. Which is probably what I will end up doing. It's just I wanted to do this tweening stuff first before I started animating the worm. Yeah, I'm aware. I'm aware. But that's just for motion stuff. For the actual animating of the worm, it'll be it'll be frame by frame painted. The animatic for the worm. My thought is, if I have the rest of the image tweened up first, the timing for the worm will feel more natural with the rest of it in motion. That's not necessarily true. I'll give it a go. I'll play with it. Sure. But I just meant in terms of how long I wait until the worm animation plays. Would be based on where the clouds are, where the grass is, and that sort of thing. You think you just got it? Nice. Yeah, I know. It just means not actually playing the animation loop until X amount of time through the other loop. Just got a quest completed and said you were meant to stop the corruption, not join it. Oh my goodness. Have you done it? Hi Ghoulie, how you going, bud? How's your day? Oh, good morning. Have you just woken up? Guten Morgen, if that's the case. Hopefully. Well, either congratulations or my condolences, depending on what the turnout is. Been good? How's it going here? Yeah, good. Just did a hair study earlier because I've got a commission at the moment that has to do with curly hair, and I suck at hair, so doing a bit of practice. And now having a think about how I want to start planning out the animation for this scene. Good morning, good evening, good night. Stewie. How you going, bud? You might actually perform a backflip IRL if you do. I don't think I could. I can't backflip even with the assistance of a trampoline. That would be incredibly impressive if you do that. Okay, now that everything's on its own layer, let's quickly not save as. Shave. Now let's see. Where would I want the worm to be? I mean, I suppose it could be... It could just be on a top layer, right? Worm animation. Frame 1. Chuck that into a folder. Worm animation. Then in theory, I should be able to jump down into timeline, create frame animation. Here's where things get messy, I think. I might need to export this image. Then have the worm as the only other layer. The hardest thing about doing a backflip is doing a back. Yeah, exactly. What am I thinking about animating? So that's kind of what I'm sorting out at the moment. Is I want certain blades of grass to be shifting in the wind. The clouds will be moving through the sky, and then I'm also the thing that's actually creating these burrows is a giant earthworm. So I'm going to have a giant earthworm doing a big arc through the ground, up through the sky. And I'm just trying to think of how I want to go about doing that. Fine, excuse me, blood. You can't just drop double digits like it's nobody's business. I struggle to get 10, blood. I struggle to get 10, and you're addressing 16 as if it's no big deal. It hurts my feelings. Okay, let's export this. Chuck it in. Where do we want it? Animations. Raw files. Raw. Giant worm. Raw background. It's just 16. What? Oh my goodness! Say, look, Stewie's celebrating a 12, as he should. 16 is very impressive, blood. You should be very happy. Sadly, you didn't get her. Apparently, according to the gods of the wiki page, she'll just appear on your screen if you get. Well, then what was the weird build-up thing before? You were getting dialogue and everything. Quickly save this. Close down that file. Frick! Didn't mean to do that. Open. Animations, giant worm, raw background. Boom. Okay, so we've got a flat image now. Create frame animation, then convert to video timeline. That's not correct. How do we want to do this? New frame. Why do I have to do this every time? Make frames from layers. There we go. It's been too long. Excuse me, I would like to expand my timeline, please. Why are you not allowing me to do that? Come on. Aha. Okay, so we've got the timeline behaving the way that I want it to. Happy now? I am very happy. Welcome to my level. No, I was happy before when you had the 16. I was just not happy with how indifferent you were to it. It was good. Everyone says on the wiki says you just have to go till wave 15. If you don't get it, then restart. Just repeat until you get it. Oh my goodness, the grind is real. Where is my second layer? Why is it not showing? Because I've got layer 1, which is there. Then let's delete that. Then introduce. Yeah, okay, so that's where the layer is. Where's my background? Where's my background layer? Why can't I see it right now? What if I duplicate? Hey, there we go. Whatever. Let's hide the original background. Call this background. You know what? Call this one background. Delete the original one. Get out of here. And then, in theory, I should be able to, there we go, stack that. And then, it's acting like frames again. Huzzah. You have until next Wednesday to do this. You got plenty of time to grind your brains out then. Excellent. Okay, so we have layers in the traditional sense. Looks like you're trying to animate in Photoshop. Yeah, the problem that I have with the Photoshop animation process is that when you go to start it, it always starts in the most unintuitive way. And then you've got to finagle it until you eventually get it to behave like any other animation software. Okay, we're here though. Let's call this 1. So we'll just use the color pink, I guess. That stands out well enough. We are simply wanting to lock in the general vibe where we're just doing timing stuff. We're not actually rendering the darn thing yet. So let's just go through and block what we want. Okay, there we go. We have our onion skin. Generally speaking, in animation, what we've got is we have a bouncing basketball. This is a classic. This is a classic in Baby's first animation, is to animate. If you've seen it before, it's the classic. You start with a basketball, it drops, and then hits the ground, compresses, and then springs up like this, and that's the animation loop. As part of this basic animation loop, you learn things like timing and elasticity. Our earthworm is kind of like a basketball if a basketball was made of flesh, was sort of strung along a little bit. Sort of, if you grab a basketball from two ends and kind of pull it into like a little snake-like cylindrical shape, it's basically the same thing. What I mean by that is, in the same way that with a bouncing basketball, you've got a sense of sort of dramatic tension as it's like initially falling into the bounce. It's the same thing here, where as this thing's popping out of the ground, it needs to sort of build a bit of tension and then explode out into its leap. It's more like stretch and squash rather than squash and stretch. Yeah. None of that squash and stretch here. I won't hear any of it. Now stretch and squash, on the other hand, that's my jam. No, I don't believe so, because it's the create new layer button, which doesn't have a hotkey associated with it. I'd need to go through and manually set up a hotkey. figured out what the quest was? You just had to crop saber 5 times? I mean, hey, if that's what the quest wants you to do. It's like any MMO or anything nowadays, right? Where quest start, all right, what do you want me to do? Go talk to Douglas 10 times. Okay, here I go. In theory, I'd be able to set it up so that I'd imagine I'd be able to set it up so that I've got new frame on my little Stream Deck thing here. I'd still need to set it to a key on my keyboard and then have the Stream Deck make reference to that key. But I mean, I could make it a key that I don't plan on ever using. No, you're good, you're good. Is it, Billy, this is why I don't do commission work on stream. Oh, we ran out of our original layer. Jump into on Friday. Nice. Congrats. Hi, it's me. I'm Dust. Hire me or else. do not take advice from me. Step 1. Walk in there with finger guns. Go bra 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 bra. Step 2. You're hired. Oh, it's on the wrong freaking layer, that's why. If you place down both your sabers, use the saber servant help thing in said boss event, which lets you place 3 already max sabers, which is a total 6 sabers. You have 4.5% chance to play. Yes, but also 4.5% is also a very small number again. I don't know. I wouldn't be able to play the game, I think. I've had my fill. I think I've said in the past I've had my fill with gacha games. I can't. I just don't have the patience. I don't like. There are so many other things that I want to do than wait around for a 2.5%. It's a lot of I just no thank you, no thank you. You like those? Absolutely not. Hopefully not a cornfield. I mean, to be fair, I don't think this is Aliens. I don't think we have to worry about crop circles when it comes to giant earthworms. Unless we do. Unless it's secretly been a giant earthworm thing this whole time. You have crop circles? Oh, it's aliens! It's aliens! I saw them! I saw it's aliens. It wasn't aliens. Idiot. It was obviously a giant worm. Then my theme music starts playing as I slowly place the tinfoil hat upon my head. It's a summer job, so nothing fancy. It'd just be distributing newspapers and such during the night, so they're with people in the morning. That'd be fun, considering the long summer nights here and how much you like driving. You think you might enjoy it a lot. I mean, hey, you get paid. I mean, that's borderline meditating at that point, right? This will be your salary. Wait, I get paid to do this thing that sounds fun? I was gonna do it for free. Do they still throw newspapers by hand? Or they use t-shirt guns these days? Oh, could you imagine? That'd be so much fun. Newspaper. My eye. Speaking of newspaper cannons, I won't go into details just because obviously people might get squeamish about like blood stuff. But I saw this post on Reddit that's like, if you have been wounded, here is how you effectively pack your wound, you know, in the best way. You know, don't use like tissues or anything like that. Use a t-shirt, and then it shows him like ripping a t-shirt in half, and then it shows the process of packing a wound, and he's got a smile on his face the whole time as he's just undergoing one of the most like harrowing looking things ever. I do not understand. I mean, I suppose it's better than him going like, oh god, oh, I'm gonna vom like the entire process through. But to have a grin on his face, incredibly troubling, especially given that I've been binge watching a bunch of horror content recently. Did not sit well. You'll have to ask during the interview. Yeah. Make or break. I'm happy to work this job if, and only if, I get to launch them out of t-shirt cannons. Going to the Arnold Terminator shoddy reload. Boom. Boom. Just out the side of the car. Beautiful. But yeah, I don't doubt that the advice that can be found on Reddit is incredibly useful sometimes. However, I will say that just don't tell me that you've gotten that piece of information from Reddit. Like, if I've been shot in the leg or whatever, and I need the wound packed or whatever it happens to be. I don't think you need to pack a wound if it's in the leg. Whatever it happens. In my gut or whatever it happens to be. You know, t-shirt, blah, blah, blah. Like, gruesome. Oh, my goodness, whatever. Just don't at any point mention, I actually learned how to do this on Reddit. This is the same place that you've got life hacks that look absolutely ridiculous and pointless. I don't need it attributed. It's fine. I learned how to do CPR on Reddit. No! If all your Reddit awards on your resume, I mean, that's understandable at least. Methinks that these frames look chunky in the timeline, and that's yeah, I know this for a fact. This is gonna the entire loop of animation that I've done so far is gonna be like 0.5 of a second altogether. Ah, it's not. Huzzah. Why is that the case? Whatever. I can always go through and read time. But, no, this is good though, because it means that I can shorten. Yum. I'll just go through and finish where the worm's going to end up, and then we can go through and finagle things afterwards. As you can see, I'm perfect for the job. Only last month did I receive did I post something on Reddit that received 150 upvotes. It's pretty good. If that doesn't qualify me, I don't know what does. I know a lot of people really enjoy watching life hack videos, but I don't know. It's so much more fun watching somebody do like spoof life hack videos. There was one in particular. Let me see if I can find it. I think I shaved it. Did I save it? No, I don't have it on hand. There was one in particular where they showed the life hack where it was they took a wine glass, put alfoil around the base of it, and then had their phone resting against the stem, and it presumably they were implying that because they did that when they rested their phone with screen on against the stem, the glass shape of the wine glass, it created like a projector effect where light traveled from the phone screen into the stem, through the stem, and then out through the glass part of the glass, the drinking portion of the glass onto the wall, and was acting like a projector. It was the stupidest thing ever, because of course it wouldn't work like that. And then these a couple of guys watch the video, go and then follow it step by step. Place the phone, place the glass down, place the phone against the glass, and then it pans to the wall where they're projecting the image onto the wall. And it's just their friend sticking his face like literally punctured through the wall. Oh, it was so good. Surely people understand that life hacks are completely pointless, right? There are like 5. I can think of 5 legitimate life hacks that have actual usage. God, it's scrambling my brain just thinking about it. The most interaction was a comment to a YouTube community post. Got about 1,000 likes and 100 comments. And have you added that to your resume? I mean, as much as I jest, I've legitimately gotten giddy seeing some of my comments get a lot of traction on YouTube. It's very funny. Must be desperate. Yeah, true. Internet stardom is pretty difficult to come by nowadays, so it's not too shocking. If my current brain state isn't a sign that I should be streaming more, I don't know what is. I don't know why, but whenever I get to like I know why, it's because of battery. My brain battery is running out. I get to like the 3-hour mark, and then all of my internal dialogue turns to gobbledygook. I'm trying to process what my brain is telling me to talk about, and it's just absolute gibberish. I need to up my stream stamina. To be fair though, Mahali at hour 1 isn't too dissimilar to Mahali at hour 3. Mahali at hour 3 just has an excuse. You like getting the likes. The comments were a cesspool of homophobia and people arguing, so that was fun. Yeah, well, that's the internet. That's all, folks. Sorry, Ebby. That's all, folks. It's very funny though. You'll have videos that are just the most benign topics. Something along the lines of, look at these photos that we took of the planet Pluto. Isn't this interesting? And you'll have people in the comments of this video spilling blood in to honor the gods of battle, and it's like, why? What are we arguing about right now? No, frick you. Pluto is a planet. Science has gone too far. I curse upon you. I curse upon all that you love. And it's like, well, okay. I mean, it's cool to see people enthusiastic about stuff. That's good. It means they care. Probably not about Pluto. I anticipate that it's got more to do with whatever they're actually angry about. But I mean, they haven't disclosed, so I won't proceed to guess what it could be. Your boss wanted you to create a quick reference guide for some work instructions during a quiet period of a 12-hour shift the other week. Writing up work instruction at the 11th hour was rough. Your brain was fried, but you got it done and made sense to everyone. Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? Is I keep, on my end, I'm hearing myself spew nonsense, and I'm going, what am I talking about? And then Stewie responds with like, yeah, no, totally. And I'm going, oh my goodness, we're having a conversation, and it's the greatest thing of all time. Because I'm just eternally grateful to you, Stewie, that you understood my description of my own brain melting, and you were then able to to like empathize and then turn it into a response. Isn't it? And then, man, yeah, clearly. Was a little comic about someone being sick, and despite the stick people being pretty androgynous, thanks to a character referring to her wife and then being called mum, know that she's a lesbian relationship. So you just praise the casual rep and then realize your mistake of mentioning legays on the internet. That was your fatal error. You're moving on to playing Guilty Gear again? Excellent. Excellent. I don't know how you do it, Squid. I honestly, I do not understand. I mean, I do in the sense that I did play a gacha game once, but never again. Never again. Godspeed to you, though. Like, if you were determined to receive this character, you know, I salute thee. You have this in the bag. I believe in you. But also, get out of there. Run. Game over, man. The thing that I struggle with streaming in particular is I'm just not used to articulating my thoughts whilst I'm drawing stuff. So usually, I'll be by myself, working away at a commission or whatever it happens to be, and constantly in my head I've got, whatever it happens to be, la 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 la, Elmo's World, or whatever it happens to be on loop in my brain. But then as soon as I need to now chew gum and talk and walk at the same time, it just all crumbles to pieces. Talking to people in general is true. Actually correct. I'm so envious. Am I envious? In a way, I'm envious of the just chatting section, where it's people just eating food and having conversations. That's a speed that I can maybe play to. But then I remember that you have to be entertaining whilst also doing this, and the idea of eating food and talking and being entertaining, it seems too difficult, in the sense that sounds boring as all heck. Apologies to anybody who does stream and eat food and is entertaining. It is a skill I have not developed myself, and therefore I am blind to its application. Plus, if you're a messy eater, it's alright. Oh, could you imagine? Today, I am joining you live with box of cookies. Oh, no. Oh, microphone. Oh, no. Just confetti everywhere. All the more reason to chew. Oh, true. It could be like watching a car crash, right? Where it's like, this is gruesome as all heck, but I just can't look away. Mahali mukbang streamer when? True. Mukbang is actually just that, isn't it? I suppose it would be. It's different though. It's different if it's like, here's all this different food that I'm trying and I'm giving my thoughts on the food as I'm trying it and that sort of thing. And then that's like giant food session over, stream end. But the people who can just talk and talk and talk into the void while doing nothing, I don't know. It's a skill that I'm envious of. Kind of. Probably get more donations to stop eating. You did it. You did mukbang stream. Congratulations. Apparently I did Control S just then. Well. Let's save this as worm animation. I mean, it's probably good that I saved, but that wasn't my intention. Little handheld ROM player thing. Hasn't been booting for months. Turns out the GBA folder is corrupt. Okay, so you've figured out what the problem is. Trying to figure out if you have them all backed up somewhere. I wish you luck. I don't know anything about virtual console stuff, so what's it? It is virtual console stuff, right? Emulated games. That's the word I was looking for. Should have used the magic of the cloud. True. You should have done cloud gaming, Billy. There you go. Oh, what was it called? The Google what's it? Google Cloud Gaming controller. What was it called again? The Stadia. Yes, Billy. You needed to use the Stadia. Yeah. Monkey magic style? I mean, I can't explain how it works. It was a success, in a matter of speaking, kind of. If you think about it, Google Stadia was kind of the most successful console ever. If you really think about it. If you stop for a second and really, really, really think about it, the Stadia was an epic success. Think about it. True, the Stadia was an experience. The Stadia was kind of like a lifestyle, if you think about it. I still get horror flashbacks to the original E3 announcement of the Xbox One. Oh my goodness, the pretentiousness. It was awful. It was just a bunch of people standing on stage saying, you know how you want a gaming console? You don't. You actually want the best thing since sliced bread. And then they were just talking nebulous terms about how it would change your lifestyle. Just the worst thing ever. It's like, no, I just want a thing that I can play video games on, please. Yeah, it was just cloud gaming. It was. But I just, oh my goodness. It promised so much and delivered so little. Cloud lifestyles. If you think about it, isn't that what Cloud City was in Star Wars? It was just everybody sitting around cloud gaming. The only reason you know about the Stadia is because some weird reason got an exclusive FNAF security breach update with Twitch integration. Yeah, okay. Sure. I mean, to be fair, I do think they did a lot of the right things to try and get it to be successful, apart from checking to see if there was an audience. It's tough though. Like, as much as I have a giggle about it, that's kind of the risk that you take when you try and find a new market, is you are kind of just making an informed estimation. You're going, nothing exists in this pocket right now, and maybe there's an audience in this pocket, or maybe it is empty because nobody is interested. It's kind of just a coin flip. It's not a true coin flip because, you know, blah, 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 market research, blah, 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 but still. Plus, you can only be so, you know, you can only feel so bad for, you know, Google. But still, like, there would be people who this was, you know, their passion project, or, you know, a lot was on the line to see the success of the Stadia. So, you know, like, there's a bit of empathy. I should always run cloud gaming trials in rural WA. And if it works there, it would work anywhere. Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? Is I don't think we were there yet, technology-wise. That seemed to be the running piece of feedback, is everyone's like, yeah, I mean, it seems nice to get infinite gaming wherever you want, but also it's only if it works. kind of reminds me of VR in a sense, where for those who can afford it, have, you know, a setup that can run VR, have a room that they can dedicate to using VR, have enough energy in the day to be able to play VR after, you know, they're finished with it. Oh, headbutt. Like, if somebody ticks all of these boxes, VR is like the best thing ever. But it also kind of requires that you tick all those boxes. I feel like the Stadia was the same way, where if you could afford the Stadia, if you had a method of hooking into it in a way that was convenient, and then if you had like a constant internet connection that was like, you know, super duper reliable, VR might have been the best thing ever. But you're slimming. You crit. Did you have like a feat that meant that with either a 19 or a 20 it counts as a crit? Too much requirement for VR? Yeah, that's the thing, right? Is I don't see VR being popular until they can casualize it more. There's too much that you have to. There's too much ask before you even get through the door, you know? Sure, why not? Yeah, then you crit. There you go. Boom. Speaking of companies who know exactly what people want, there was a Baldur's Gate mod for Stardew Valley that was universally loved and endorsed by the CEO of Lyrian, and then Wizards of the Coast came and DMCA'd it. Yeah, I did hear about that. I'd need to know more, I think, to have an opinion, because sometimes it's kind of, there is a legal obligation to chase up any breach of copyright, and if you don't chase up every breach of copyright that you're reasonably able to, then you actually lose ownership of the copyright. Is how it's written into copyright law, but maybe they weren't charging money for it, or maybe there were ways of, yeah, if it was a free mod, then they're completely in the wrong for tackling it. To be honest, VR is also very limited in terms of game creation. You're slightly limited. Yeah, I don't know. It feels, I mean, we're closer than the Virtual Boy days, but I still feel as though there are so many little asterisks involved that it just makes it complicated. Like, it's a fun novelty thing, and those that it caters to, I imagine absolutely love it, but I don't imagine it being a widespread technology until they can reduce all of those asterisks down into a manageable amount. I think the big hurdle that they'll have to cross is that they'll have to jump over is how large the headset is. If they can reduce it down to something quite sleek and light, I feel as though regardless of how much the requirement is in terms of price and space, I think people will make whatever sacrifices in order to acquire it. I think at the moment the big tall order is how bulky it is, and the wires as well. It's time for you to head off to sleep. 2 more days and you're finally on holidays. Nice, so close. You got this, Squid. Still have schoolwork to do over the holidays though, which is annoying, but it's stuff you'll hopefully enjoy. Yeah, plus you can take your time with it and manage your time however you want, right? So, regardless, have a good night, bud. Thanks for hanging out. Good luck with school stuff. I'll catch you later. rather betting on they didn't think that they'd be pissed about it. Just looking at Wizards of the Coast track record at the moment, that's fair. I don't know. I'm not close enough to I'm not close enough to the incident to be able to make the call. But I don't know. I'm pretty cautious with that sort of thing. There have been too many instances where I've fired opinions from the hip, and then I've learned later on that it's like, yeah, I mean, they were legally bound to do it, or like the other person was in the wrong, or whatever it happens to be. I now have the habit of waiting before. Unless it's Sonic the Hedgehog 3 the movie, and in which case, regardless of all context, I will hip fire, fan the hammer, just rapid fire, all in. I did not mean to grab the timeline. Can I put the timeline back? I'd like to return the timeline, please. No? Okay, that's just there now. Cool, I guess. Actually, you know what? Let's... Timeline into timeline. And it's still in the same breaking spot. Oh, there we go. Fixed. No timeline refunds. Frick you, Stewie. I'll do what I want. Ah. How are we doing for time? Oh, only half an hour left. I say that, but it's also 10:30. I did start half an hour late. That's why. I should probably start wrapping up soon then. Okay, so what's going to happen is I'll complete the little test loop. I will then figure out that the timing is all wonky because Photoshop doesn't do frames very well. Sorry, correction. Photoshop doesn't do frames intuitively. There we go. And then I will scream and start figuring out how I want to fix it. 24. There we go. Okay, so this is the sequence. It's not clean. It won't be for a while, but this is my intended sequence, is that we have the farm, then Earthworm emerges and does a little, it's a bit buggy, but there we go. Does a little loop. I can't just press play because I know that the timing is going to be garbage. Come on, Photoshop, work with me here. No. Okay, time to press play and then cringe. Oh, excellent. It's like sending a fax. Cring, 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 cring. beautiful. Look at that FPS. I know, right? But yes, that's the plan. That is what I have planned. I'll start trying to fix it tomorrow. That's for future Mahali to deal with, and current Mahali to not have to think about. Because it'll be easier on Mahali's brain if we do it that way. Cool. All right. Easy done. That saved. But I think I'm good. Now, all I have to do is find a poor streamer to come and bother. Let's not frame it that way. Daniel Corrier. Let's go check out what he's working on. Boom. All right. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate the company always. I hope you had fun. Sorry for, like, I'm so slow when it comes to learning Photoshop stuff. It's just, whatever. More interesting animation stuff will be in the works, I promise. Once I get back into the flow of things, it'll come to me. Don't worry about it. We'll see if I can get the early stream tomorrow. Should be, even if it's a little bit late. I still anticipate doing an afternoon stream tomorrow, and then Pokemon stream on Friday. Just got back. Bye, Billy. Bye. And to everybody else as well, have an excellent rest of your day or night, depending on where you are. And I'll catch you around. Bye.